So a couple of things had to happen here. I found that I was looking across the painting and slamming into a wall, and that wall was, well, almost directly beneath the most vertical peak, or what would be the most important peak in the range. So I wanted to make it a little more gradual. I needed to shorten this tree a little bit. Done that. Put an opposing angle, sort of repeating this a little bit. Made this tree a little higher. Brought in another tree here so that we have sort of a slope that repeats this area here. So now when I look across it, it seems to bring my eye up a little bit rather than just running into something. Also, shortened these trees. I had sort of a bank of trees. They were all more or less on the same plane. Actually, these ones came a little bit closer, I think, before. So I've shortened them so they're a little farther away, a little less important. Yeah, just went over it with a little bit of paint thinner and raw umber and yellow ochre. And then I needed to organize the snowy area here a little bit. Very tempted to get too carried away because I don't want too much detail up here. I want this painting more to be about the light than the form. But I still have to stay reasonably true to the form. Okay, we'll start playing on the mountains now. Well, this one's a little farther away, and this side of it will be in the shadow until we're a little later in the day. We come over to the right hand side of that. And we'll go a little lighter, a little higher in value. And add a little bit of yellow ochre. Oh, I start out with alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. I think we'll stick with our ultramarine blues here on the back end. So, trying to keep it a bit loose, but not too sloppy. A little more yellow ochre, a little more alizarin crimson. This catches a bit of light as well. We'll stay with those colors for a moment. Okay. We'll stop with that. We'll stop with that now. Now, we'll do something with this peak. More in the foreground. I'm getting pretty bright already, a little too high a value right from the get-go. I don't want to do that. But we do have that nice low sun, which does provide us with some nice warm colors on this mountain. Bit of a sliver of it there. Excuse me. We have something there as well, I believe. Working my way down to the ridge. How was that? No, it's not too bad, I guess. Now we're going to go more purple. Leave the yellow ochre out of it. So back to alizarin crimson. And ultramarine blue. How's that? Yeah, that's looking okay. Notice I'm turning the knife a little bit on some of these strokes, trying to somewhat respect the shapes that are up on this saddle of mountainside. It's a bit red. Oops. All right. It's still too red. Cool things off a little bit. Alright, well I think that's the direction that we want to go. So at this point in the painting, I'm already, to my taste, becoming a little too concerned with detail. And I'm forgetting that I want an impressionistic view of this. So I took a little break, and I'm glad I did. Just to remind myself what my plan is. And to stop being so fussy. So let's see here. Oh, too much red there. Now I'm going to want to carve around these trees. As I'm painting it. I look back at the camera now and then just to make sure that I've remembered to push the record button. Okay, the rest of this in here will be more in the shade than what I've got here. So I think we'll go back to our stony colors, because as we get into the blues and softer purples here, and bluer purples, we're really dealing with treat areas. There are a couple of shadowy areas here. Whoops. I always pick up junk just when I don't want it. Alright. It looks as though we have a flat side and then that's in the shade. This is not really all that much in the shade except for those two areas. We're still catching some light back in here. So that's what we'll shoot for. We're back to our yellow ochre and the lizard crimson. And a bit of white. Oops. I feel a grain of what seems like sand in my paint pile, so I'm I'm going to have to refresh that. Don't want to go too light. Again, just putting a bit of a twist on some of the strokes. We'll go we will go with I think I've gone a little too dark on those spots. Yeah. I'm too bright here. Too high a chroma. Too high a value. Now, these colors in general are okay, but I don't really want, I would like them to blend into the tree line a little bit. And if I end up being quite generous with paint on here, that's okay. Again, I don't want too much strength on top. I can always reintroduce some higher values or chroma if I need to. Like that. Still too high a value there. I'm going to steal some from down here. Okay. Now, just for a bit of instant gratification, I'm going to put a little bit of very high value along here. And if that catches the top of the mountain, that's okay. A lot of yellow ochre now. Bit of white. Okay, all right. It's a good reminder for me just to stay rough, to stay loose. Again, not getting too messy, but almost the appearance of accidental strokes, but they're not accidental strokes by any means. I do, however, have to tidy it up a little bit now. Well, it's still not completely tidied up. Well, it's not tidied up at all, really. What I decided to do is just finish up to the edge of the painting here. Just because it has to be done. Okay, I'm going to go a little bluer there. A little bit bluer. Here. A little more ultramarine blue. A little bluer, more off in the distance. Not too not too intense. No rock showing, so we're not going to go with that. With the more intense purples and the warmer colors. Going off the edge of the painting, then we just cool things off, make them less important. But even in an area like this, where you think, well, you're just filling in an area. It's true, but you've got to fill it in using appropriate colors and values. Using the right temperature. I tend to say chroma a lot, but I think a lot of people talk about temperature. Even though chroma really is intensity, temperature is the warmth. Warm and cool colors, different story, obviously. Okay, we don't need strong divisions here. That's off in the distance. Yes, with every stroke, this painting is becoming more and more about the mountain. That's okay, I can live with it. Okay. Okay, I need to make this stronger. Well, so far so good. Okay, I'm going to do some tidying up. And next time we're going to work on this other plane of land in here and then work our way forward. Thanks for watching. See ya.